from the Blitz Creek Studio.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another beautiful episode of the Sideline Podcast, episode 25. I'm your host, Adam Flores, once again joined by the wonderful, the beautiful, the magnificent Christopher Marquez.
I didn't deserve all those.
No, you didn't,
I
but I
didn't
gave it to
deserve
you anyway.
Any single one of those. Maybe beautiful. I've actually, I don't know.
All right, let's not get...
Would you consider yourself good looking? Don't lie about this.
I wouldn't consider myself ugly.
No, well, I mean, I'm not saying that you're ugly. I'm asking if you consider yourself good looking.
I don't know. It's because, like, I feel like everybody constitutes certain things as good looking, you know, like...
Dude, it's a yes or no.
I don't know.
I would say you're good looking.
Thank you.
No,
I don't...
no.
Okay.
I'd hit.
Welcome back to the Sideline Podcast, everybody. I am Adam Flores, and we are finally back.
Finally. We were just
Finally
here like
back
2 days ago.
with NFL football.
Oh, okay.
We are back. Week 1 is almost halfway in the books. We have had 2 games, Thursday night football, Friday night football, and we have Sunday football tomorrow. We have Monday night football as well coming up. Right now we have college ball going on, but we are going to be recapping Thursday night's kickoff, Friday night's kickoff in Brazil. Getting a little Brazil, Sao Paulo action.
How do you feel about Brazilians?
I like them.
Like a Brazilian wax? Like you're a fan of that?
You know, Brazil has a lot to offer.
Brazil is a very, very large country, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's huge. It's almost the whole continent if you think about it. Anyways, the Thursday night game was actually better than I expected. We'll get into that right now.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold you. I didn't really watch much of the Chargers and Chiefs.
Okay, well, I watched the whole thing for the most part. Like
And then
95%.
I don't understand why they didn't throw another NFL game tonight. Like, fuck it. Let's just ride it Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Let's just do
and
the
Sunday.
whole weekend.
Yeah, let's
5-day
just like,
bender.
let's flex our sports superiority muscle in front of college and be like, hey guys, we own this.
Well, speaking of flexing their superior muscles, did you see what the NFL did for the Brazil game?
No.
So last year, you know how bad the conditions were for the field?
Oh, yeah. We talked about this.
Yeah, so they were talking about the pregame and how the NFL flew in a big plane. They flew in a big plane specifically for the field, and what it carried were stitchings for the field, and they stitched up the field
Damn.
to their liking.
That's crazy.
And I don't know what happens after that because I don't think you can just take it out. You know,
No, I'm sure you can.
But
I
it's
mean,
like-
yeah, it's probably not easy, but I mean, like,
but it's like what you stitch it up for the game, and then just after that, what happens? Like the soccer players benefit from it because it's better now.
no, they're
or-
going to switch the whole, like, they don't, soccer's
not
played on grass.
Right.
like,
I
actual
understand
grass.
that. No, but it was like synthetic fibers that they stitched up in the grass.
No, I'm sure they'll just, like, resurface it somehow. I mean, these guys are,
I don't even know how they would do that. I mean, like there probably is a way. I just don't know how they would do it.
I mean, you would think since we have turf right in front of us that we'd be much more knowledgeable about this, but I do not know much about grass. All I do know is that I like to smoke it.
Oh Jesus
You
Christ!
know what I mean? But yeah, that's crazy that the lengths that they'll go to make sure that it's good, right? Because
No,
they
it
want
is
the
good, yeah.
playing surface to be as, I guess, durable as possible, so that way people aren't getting hurt. But yeah, they'll go to extreme lengths to make sure that the fields are up to par, if you will.
Let's talk about Thursday night's game. We had the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles face off for the first game of the season. The Philadelphia Eagles, or should I say the defending Philadelphia Eagles, take down the Cowboys 24-20 in a somewhat electric game in more than one way.
Electric. I like how you use that.
We had a beautiful first half of scoring. It was constant scoring. I believe it was 8 scoring drives to start the game in the first half.
Yeah, but let's talk about like what happened on the first kickoff. There was
yes.
a pretty
There was
big
an
ejection.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Jalen Carter, defensive tackle for the Eagles. There was a little confrontation between him and Dak after the first kickoff, but before the first play of the drive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it was like a bang situation. Jalen Carter actually spit on Dak Prescott, and then
Who is Jalen Carter?
he's the defensive tackle for the Eagles.
Okay.
And he's like probably one of their best players on defense. And what was crazy is that he actually spit on Dak in front of the ref, like right in front of him. Like the ref was like,
He spit on Dak?
yeah, he spit on Dak.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, I'm giving like preface for the game because
Yeah.
I think people need to know that was probably one of the main reasons that
Did he
Dallas,
like spit in his face or?
No, he just spit like on his shoulder. I don't know. Well, I mean, he has a face mask on too, so you can't really spit in his face.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if his helmet was on or not.
His helmet was on, yeah.
Was it?
But anyway, that was a big like catalyst for the Cowboys
They
offense
weren't
in a way.
swapping spit.
Well, they did actually because Dak apparently spit first.
Dak spit first.
Yeah.
At Jalen Carter.
Well, that's not at him, but Dak says he spits a lot. You know what I mean? He's a big spit
So he
guy.
just allegedly spit in his direction.
Yeah, like, well, you could see it, but I mean, he didn't like spit directly at him. It's like if I spit right now and I just spit like right here, I didn't spit at you.
And then I just assumed you were trying to spit at me.
Yeah, so then you actually do spit on me.
Right.
And then you get ejected. So
okay.
you would be Jalen Carter, and I'm Dak Prescott right now.
Dak basically rage baited him. That's what he did.
Yeah, pretty much. You do that to me all the time.
I do
You know
do
what
that
I mean?
to you
So
all
I
the
mean,
time.
it's a common practice.
You've done that to me before.
No, I don't know if I ever do that.
Okay.
It's a common practice among people now, I guess, to rage bait each other. But that was probably like the first big play of the game that wasn't actually a play. And then Dallas proceeded to run all over Philly for a while. And then the game kind of just switched up after that.
Yeah, so in the first half, we had 8 scoring drives in a row. And I think going into the half, it was 20-21.
Yeah, because they hit that field goal to get within a point of Philly.
Yeah, so it was 17-21, and then going into half, the Cowboys closed it out with a field goal, resulting in a 20-21 halftime. They come into the third quarter, and a few minutes into the third quarter, the Eagles end up kicking one field goal to make it 24-20, and just shortly after that, there was a weather delay due to lightning on the field, and the game stopped for about an hour and a half, roughly. And after it resumed, the game was not the same. There was less fireworks in the game, significantly less scoring. There was 0 points scored after the delay in the entire game, which was kind of a letdown because it makes you wonder, is it the delay that kind of caused that? Or is it just the way that the game flowed? The defenses looked a lot stronger than the offenses did. And you would think that a delay like that might allow the offensive players to take a little bit of a breather rather than completely cool down. But it also is an hour and a half, so it's hard to stay
long
warm.
time.
Yeah, it's hard to stay warm for an hour and a half straight without even playing the game. You come out onto the field, you got 15 minutes to warm up, and then you're back into action like you were already playing the game, which obviously they were, but again, an hour and a half previous to that. So our big game time performers, I wouldn't say they were big game time performers.
Dak had a big game.
Dak did have a big
Dak
game.
had a big
game for regular terms, not for fantasy.
No, I mean, no, yeah, but I mean, we're looking at it just like, how did he play? I mean, obviously, fantasy is going to show you one thing, but like Javonte Williams had a crazy fantasy night and was pretty much like he disappeared in the second half of the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? It literally came from 2 drives that he really was put in position to get yardage, and then once they were in the red zone, you knew it was going to him. So that's what I'm saying is that like fantasy tells one story, but you could still have a good game and not be hitting all the fantasy points that you need. Like Dak really looked good because he was mobile, which a lot of people were probably concerned about that coming into the season. And he didn't make any throws that were like the Dak throws that you're used to seeing where you're like, why would you do that?
Yeah, Dak actually looked like his MVP caliber self again.
He looked good.
Which was really good for this offense. And everybody wrote the Cowboys off. And the Eagles were coming into this game as 7-point favorites, which I think was an absolute disgrace to the Cowboys. And it's just disrespecting them after the loss of Micah Parsons.
Though. Philly's at home.
I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it.
The Parsons thing is there.
The Parsons, you have Dak coming back from an injury.
You don't know what Javonte Williams is going to do.
Right, exactly. That backfield is very ambiguous. The Eagles just came off of a Super Bowl, so I guess it is okay to assume something like that. But everybody all week long was telling me, like, oh, you're a Cowboys fan. Like, oh, the Eagles are going to mop them. They're going to wipe the floor with them. Like, no. I'm like, nah. That's not going to happen. I guarantee you that's not going to happen.
The Eagles never mopped the floor with Dallas when Dallas is healthy.
When
Last
Dallas is
year,
healthy,
they won both matchups, but Dak didn't play in either of them. So, I mean, that you can't use that as like as a preface to what's going to happen for this game and this season because things were totally different. And honestly, the Cowboys did lose, but they didn't lose because of Micah Parsons or Dak or anything like that. they just lost because they couldn't contain Jalen Hurts, and that's really what it came down to.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts had 19 for 23, 152 yards, 14 carries for 62 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns to go along with that. So Jalen Hurts had a hell of a game against Dallas.
Offensively for the Eagles, besides Saquon, because Saquon had a touchdown as well.
They were really the only 2 players.
Yeah, they were the only
field.
2. Devontae Smith, you didn't see a lot of him.
Nope.
You saw Dotson with that one really long reception, which was like a 40-yarder. And then A.J. Brown was like not even targeted or something, I saw.
Yeah, so A.J.
Which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, so Saquon ended the game with 18 carries for 60 yards, 4 receptions and 24 yards, and a rushing touchdown. Devonta Smith only had 3 receptions for 16 yards. A.J. Brown, 1 reception, 1 target, 8 yards.
That's crazy.
Jahan Dotson was actually their leading receiver for the game, their wide receiver 3, with 3 receptions for 59 yards, and Dallas Goedert had 7 receptions for 44.
Yep.
So there was not a lot of firepower in terms of throwing the rock this game for either side of the ball, but you did see a lot of points in the first half, which makes you wonder, was it the great offensive production and not relying on one person alone, or was it the defenses containing these offenses and them having to go to their third, their fourth, their fifth option on the field rather than CeeDee Lamb getting 900% of the work, or even George Pickens? You really saw quiet in this game, in his first game with Dallas. Javonte was great in the goal line work, but not necessarily spectacular in between the 20s. So Dak finished the game with 21 for 34, 188 yards. No passing touchdowns for Dak, which he only finished with under 10 fantasy points, but we'll get into fantasy points later. Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 54 yards, 2 receptions, 10 yards for two rushing touchdowns. Pickens was 3 for 30. And Pickens, I took a prop on him, and I was expecting him to get that. I believe it was 55.5 yards that I had him for. And he would have easily cleared that had he gotten those 2 receptions that were called for DPI.
Right.
One of them was like a 50-yard bomb, and the other was a corner end zone touchdown. And they were, again, both called for defensive pass interference. So, again, George Pickens necessarily did not look bad. It was just missed opportunities there. One of them was a bad throw by Dak, and the other was just a straight DPI. Lamb finished with 7 receptions for 110 yards, 18 fantasy points, and his big caveat for the game was 4 drops, 2 of them being in crunch time. And it makes you wonder, does Dallas win this game if he does not have those 2 crucial drops late in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to point the finger at CD there. I mean, he did drop, well, I don't know, because he had a dive for that 4th and 3, the last one, and he had a dive for it. I mean, that's a hard catch.
No, but it makes you think like you're a top 5, top 3 paid receiver in the league, which means you should be making catches like that.
No, yeah, you should.
You put your body on the line, you go out there, you do it every game, in and out, and that's what's expected of him.
Yeah, you should, but sometimes you don't, and that's exactly what happened. And yeah, those drops really hurt Dallas. But I mean, like, after this game, you can still look back and be like, okay, well, we had a decent showing, and we can take some positives away. CeeDee Lamb should turn that around, right? Nobody's going to be harder on CeeDee Lamb than probably himself. So that should, not happen again, hopefully. And I think Dallas looks like they were in good position offensively. Defensively, they did not look good at all, especially containing Hurts. That was the biggest downfall for the team.
Yeah, and like I was saying, the second half of the game, the defense looked more complete.
Right.
But again, it makes you wonder, was it that delay that really cooled the offense down and made the defense look that much better? Or did the defense really figure something out in that break and be like, you know what, this is how we're going to lock them down? And sure enough, they did lock them down.
I feel like it's a bit of both, but like the delay just ruins everybody's timing, I feel like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like that was a long delay considering like they had just actually came back too from halftime too. So like it was like they went almost like 2 hours. Some of the players probably went like 2 hours without actually being on the field.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that probably does change the rhythm, but I think what you said hits the nail on the head was that there was no scoring after that.
Right, there was 0 scoring. So in terms of fantasy, our top 3 producers we play in 6-point passing touchdown leagues. Keep that in mind. But regardless, there was no passing touchdowns in this game, so it's the same for everything. This is also full PPR. So Jalen Hurts was number one with 24.28 points. Javonte Williams, which I guarantee you 90% of the people did not start in their roster.
I would say 95% of people.
Yeah, 95%.
And honestly, like, how do you... Going into that game, how do you
expect him?
Well, not expect him, but how are you confident that he's going to perform? You're not.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
The only thing that would have helped someone start him is either if you're in a deep league, if you're like in a 14-man league, you probably started him. If you're in a 14-man league.
Oh, yeah.
The other reason is like, let's say you drafted Joe Mixon early in drafts and you're like, you know what? I need somebody to put in. I don't have anyone else. Joe Mixon is out. Christian McCaffrey is on the question mark list, but we'll get to him later.
He's trending.
Yeah, so I feel like Javonte Williams is only a very niche group of people that started him for a very specific reason like that. So he was the second performer with 20 points, and the third was obviously none other than Saquon Barkley with 18.4 points, and coming in a close fourth was CeeDee Lamb with 18 points, and probably would have had around 30 had he caught those two passes.
Well, had he just had a touchdown, that would have already catapulted.
Yeah, I mean
him
that's another 8 points right there for the touchdown, 7 points. So that puts you at 25, 26 fantasy points. So that doesn't include the long bomb that he had.
And honestly, I don't think you can just blame CeeDee Lamb for this loss.
No, because
no way.
There could have been more production in the rush game for sure.
Well, they could have just contained Jalen Hurts. That's
also
the biggest thing.
They were doing great in the secondary. Their secondary was doing their part.
And somebody that I talked to just off record was like, Micah Parsons would have changed that game. And I'm like, not really, because Micah Parsons would have been the guy flushing Jalen out of the pocket.
Yep.
He might have been able to chase him down once or twice, but Jalen was still able, as soon as he saw the pressure in the pocket collapsing, he was bouncing to his left or to his right and just getting any yardage that was in front of him. And Micah is not going to be there in that level of the defense. He's going to be the one applying the pressure. So it still would have been the same story.
So are you freaking out about A.J. Brown only having one target in this game?
No, I mean, this happens to all receivers. I mean, they go through their ups and downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this game, like I said, it was very weird because like Jalen was not really throwing the ball a lot. He wasn't going down the field as much as like he usually does. But it's because he knew sometimes the best decision would be to just roll out, pick up the yards with his feet, and look at how efficient he was doing that. So I don't. It's week 1 too, so you can't freak out. But I guess if you're like a big AJ Brown fan that was trying to get him and you didn't end up with him on your squad, and you want to throw a trade offer to the AJ Brown owner in your league, go ahead. But I wouldn't expect them to be like, yeah, bro, take him. He's trash.
All right, so we had another game the following day, which was last night, Friday night's game, Sao Paulo, Brazil. We had the Kansas City Chiefs coming off of their Super Bowl appearance as well, going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, it has become a classic over the years. The only downside is that Justin Herbert has not really had a lot of weapons around him. And last night seemed completely different. It almost seemed if it was the opposite way around. Mahomes had no weapons to throw to last night, and Herbert had all the firepower. So let's go over our performers of the game. We had Patrick Mahomes go 24 for 39, 258, and 1 with 6 carries, 57 rushing yards, as well as a rushing touchdown to go along with it. Pacheco was semi-efficient. He had 5 carries for 25 yards. Worthy had a goose egg. We'll get to him in a little bit. Kelsey, 2 receptions, 47 for a touchdown, and 1 murder charge to go along with it. Hollywood Brown had 10 receptions, 99 yards. He was their number 1 receiving option after Worthy went down. Herbert had 25 for 34, 318 with 3 in the air, 7 carries for 32 yards. Najee had only 1 carry for 5 yards. Hampton, 15 for 48. Lad McConkey, 6 receptions, 74 yards. Keenan Allen, 7 receptions, 68 yards. And Quentin Johnston had 5 receptions, 79 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Let's talk about the Chiefs first. What do you think about Mahomes coming into this season, Chris?
Well, I mean, you have to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, right? And Mahomes will have these games where he doesn't perform lights out, but then somehow they still win.
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
He's just one of those game changers.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that, like, no matter what, like if he's your quarterback, you have a chance to win. And everybody like I guess we forget how long Mahomes has been in the league for.
Right. He's been almost a decade.
Yeah, like he's not as young as he used to be anymore. So obviously that athleticism isn't going to be what it used to be. But I mean, he's still a very good quarterback and he's going to make the right decisions. And so like Mahomes should not be counted out until the Chiefs are eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah, if you were watching that game last night, which I know you weren't, Chris.
I didn't watch a single snap.
There was, I don't know if you want to try and find them, but there was 2 very electric plays specifically by Patrick Mahomes where he was parallel to the ground, almost similar to the Buccaneers Super Bowl where he was parallel to the ground and was able to get a throw off and almost threw a touchdown, except this one was kind of like a 3-yard check down, but he was, again, parallel to the ground. You saw that athleticism from Patrick Mahomes and just that on the fly decision making that no other quarterback has been able to, come close to since Patrick Mahomes has come into the league. And I don't mean to glaze him like crazy, but when he does it time and time again and everybody just continues to count him out, it almost feels like a Brady storyline over and over again. It's just everybody counts out Mahomes. But again, Mahomes is one of those guys where it feels like after Tyreek Hill left Kansas City, he has had no weapons other than Travis Kelce up until finally Rashee Rice comes in.
That's what like the Brady theme kind of reminds me of, is that like
no matter who's around him, he's gonna find a way to get it done.
That's what I was gonna say, is that it's not about who's around him because he's gonna make everybody better. So you can just kind of fill in the gaps however you want. And I mean, when his main receiver last night was Hollywood Brown. You know what I mean? Like sometimes this guy's bounced around.
He's like 5 years removed from his glory days.
Yeah,
already.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what you would see with like guys like Tom Brady, just making these wide receivers that people never really heard of and turning them into household names. And I guess Xavier Worthy got knocked out at like first play of the game or something.
It was like the 3rd play.
So if Worthy doesn't get hurt, he probably has that production that Brown had, because he's like their so far like number 1 wide receiver, right? But then also Mahomes always has his steady right-hand man in Travis Kelce, kind of like Tom Brady always had with like Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, so nothing is confirmed yet, but...
Or maybe Julian Edelman probably.
In case you are not aware, Kelce ran into Xavier Worthy on a crossing route, a little double slant route, if you will, and he just body checked him. He put a shoulder in him, and they didn't see each other, ran into each other. And there's, again, nothing confirmed yet from Xavier Worthy's injury, but there's rumors circulating already that he may go on the IR and he may miss at least 4 weeks.
Was it like a head injury or like?
No, it looked like almost like a shoulder dislocation.
Oh shit!
So,
okay.
Do you know that famous little clip from Matthew Stafford when he dislocates his shoulder and then comes back into the game and throws the touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how he's walking off the field and he's kind of holding his shoulder? Xavier Worthy was doing the exact same thing. Same thing. And they were trying to like grab their hand in there and like pop it up and they couldn't. Yeah. So they took him to the x-ray room. I don't think anything was broken, but again, a dislocation is nothing to take lightly, especially when you're a receiver and you're constantly trying to body the other corner. So again, rumors speculating that he might go on the IR, but nothing is confirmed yet. We had the Chargers come out electric last night, pun intended for the Bolts. Herbert had a phenomenal game, 25 for 34, like I said previously, 318 passing yards with 3 passing touchdowns to go along with it. He had 33.92 fantasy points, again, in 6-point passing touchdown leagues. He was electric. I loved the way that he played last night. He was phenomenal, just making plays time and time again. He was finding the open receiver. He was moving the pocket phenomenally. And I think this is a version of Herbert that we have not seen yet. And I think he's going to be even better than when he came into the league at his rookie year when he almost broke the passing touchdown record as a rookie. Or I don't know if he does hold that, actually. I don't know if that's his record. But I think this is going to be the year that Herbert gets it done. I'm a firm believer in the Chargers this year. I've said it over and over again that I think that they're going to win the division this year. Najee Harris was hardly used. He had 2 fantasy points, 1 carry, 1 reception, both going for 5 yards. Omarion Hampton looked like a rookie. He looked like a rookie out there. I'm not going to say too much about him. It's one game sample size. I'm not going to say he's a bust. I'm not going to say he's a superstar right out the
Well,
gate.
you were super high on him coming out.
I was super high. And I think when it comes to running backs, I'm just a big fan in pure rushers rather than like gadget players when it comes to a running back. So like for fantasy, he's not going to be the flashy guy, but he's going to remind me of, if he does pan out, he's going to remind me of a Jonathan Taylor, where he's going to be a pure runner. He's not going to be used in the passing game. He's not going to get the 7 targets a game like Bucky Irving or like Chase Brown, you know, that esque player.
Yeah, he's not going to be Alvin Kamara out there.
Right, exactly. He's going to be the guy that's, you know, between the tackles, hard-nosed runner, and that's what I like out of a running back, like when it comes to real football.
But it's still hard for those guys to transition right away, year one. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
And the biggest running back that we're going to need to watch is going to be Genty with Oakland, because if he struggles, then all these other guys are going to struggle. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because he was the unanimous number one and the best back by far coming out. But like, it's not always that easy. And then a lot has to do with the scheme around you. You know what I mean?
Right. So again, I know you didn't really watch this game last night, but just looking at the stat lines here.
Keenan Allen,
7 receptions. Ladd McConkey, 6
how old is
receptions.
Keenan Allen,
and Quentin
bro?
Johnston, 5 receptions. What do you make of this receiving core for fantasy production? Because who are you going to start? Are you going to start all 3 of these guys every single week? Is this going to be like a Patrick Mahomes kind of thing where you can just start all the receivers and hope for the best?
Well, I mean, in this case, you can because of the volume that Herbert's throwing. I mean, he went for 318 yards,
34 attempts.
35 pretty much. I mean,
35.
that's pretty much.
Mahomes went for 40 attempts. So.
Yes, it's so if these guys are going to pass the ball like that, then yeah, I mean, there's plenty of target shares to go around. The guys that are really going to pop are the ones that end up in the end zone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or the ones that hit the big plays.
I mean, I don't even know who I would start here. Obviously, Ladd McConkey is the golden boy from last year.
Yeah, but so Quentin Johnson probably plays as what, like the wide receiver 1, because McConkey's not that big.
Technically Johnston is like the 3, I think.
He's the 3?
Yeah, because
he's the biggest out of all of them, though, size-wise.
I think Keenan is bigger.
Keenan?
I think
I feel like
Keenan's
Keenan's
bigger.
small.
Let me fact check you.
Yeah, Keenan's not like too... Obviously, he's an NFL player, so he's big, but he's not like a 6'4", like Mike Evans 6'5" size. You know what I mean? But I think just having those 3 options is going to open everything up for Herbert. And then if the running game can be complementary, where they can get into short distance, 2nd and 5s, 3rd and 2s, then that will just open up the field and the playbook for Herbert going forward. And I think he likes the fact that he has Keenan Allen back, because I feel like as a quarterback, when you have that trusted vet receiver, that you can always, you know where he is and you trust him to catch the ball. You know what I mean?
So Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen are actually the exact same height. They're both 6'2".
Okay. So they're not super huge wide receivers, but I think just
They're
having...
still bigger than Ladd McConkey.
McConkey's like... he's really small.
Ladd McConkey is 6 foot, $185.
Okay, so he's not that small, but for NFL sizes, he is.
No, yeah.
But I would say for now, going into week 2, if you have these 3, you're probably starting every single one of them until you see otherwise.
And then what about Hampton? Is he going to just be a start? You just have to start him and hope for the best? You got to hope for touchdowns?
No, I mean, you're going to obviously, hope for touchdowns, but you're also going to play the matchup, I guess. If the opposing team has a very good run defense.
Well, the Chargers got a hard opening schedule. So they had the Chiefs already, which they already knocked down.
Right.
And their next 2 games, they got the Raiders, Broncos.
Right.
And
well, we
those
don't know
2 divisional matchups.
Right, but we don't know too much about the Raiders yet. The Broncos are projected to be good. I guess it depends who you have on your bench that you could replace him with. Because you can only go as far as who your options are. You know what I mean? If he's your best option at running back 1, 2, or as a flex, then yeah, you're gonna have to run him out there.
Yeah, and I don't think this is Hampton's best showing. Obviously, the Chiefs have a good defensive line. They have Chris Jones at the front and center of the nose tackle. So I think that's enough said right there. So It's definitely hard to get through that guy. So let's again wrap up our Friday night game. Our top fantasy performers were Justin Herbert at number 1 with 33.92 fantasy points. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes with 28.02 fantasy points. And coming in at the number 3 spot was none other than Quentin Johnston, like we all expected, with 24.9 fantasy points. That wraps up our Thursday and Friday night games. Let's get into our week 1 Sunday slate. We have 14 matchups coming up, and we're going to fly through them. We're not going to go into, the scrutiny of every single game, but we're going to try and get through as much as we possibly can.
Can we talk about something really fast?
Sure, let's talk about something.
Like something that's really been bothering me, and
Okay.
and it's really gonna like come to fruition on Sunday at 11 a.m.
Okay.
They officially took down Stream East.
They did.
They raided it, and I guess the headquarters were somewhere outside of Cairo, Egypt.
You know what? Okay, so
That's crazy.
On that note,
Anyways, I'm scared because my red zone might not be available because I stream and I don't have the money to buy the whole package.
So here's the thing: is like Stream East. They said that they were shut down, right? They said that they shut down Stream East, and there's tweets coming out from unknown sources saying that Stream East is not shut down.
So it's still up?
They're saying that it's still up, but when you look it up, it doesn't come up anymore.
Okay, so we're going to have to find out on Sunday.
So we're going to have to wait to see. They might take a sabbatical and they might come back up under another server name, under another proxy or whatever.
Right. But I have a backup streaming site. I'm not gonna put it out there because
we have our ways, but
because what happens is everybody gets on it, and the next thing you know, they're being raided by the feds,
Right, exactly.
or by
So
whoever.
if you know,
raids.
you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just scared because I really rely on Red Zone.
I'm scared.
And if it's not there for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because, dude, now that I think back at it, like before Red Zone, people just used to watch that one game that was on
Yeah,
TV.
people just used to watch the game on Fox today.
Yeah, and you had no control
Like
over
who's
what
playing?
game that
The
is.
fucking Packers again.
Yeah,
Like,
it
who
would
else?
always be like the Raiders and the Broncos.
The Raiders
Yeah.
Broncos at 2, and then the morning game is like Cowboys Giants.
Yeah,
always.
and then all you have left is whatever Sunday cap is.
Yeah,
is on the schedule.
Sunday night on NBC is
Yeah.
the Patriots and the Chiefs.
I guess, yeah.
Back in the day.
But yeah, so it kind of
Or the
like
Steelers and the Ravens.
it's kind of crazy that people used to operate like that. You know what I mean? Like, thank God for fucking illegal streams.
They were cavemen back
yeah,
then.
dude. Like how do people even watch TV?
Dude, I don't
Like
know.
regular TV where
I
you just
can't.
flip through channels and you don't know what's on the next channel.
I can't watch TV.
And then all of a sudden, Saving Private Ryan is on, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Titanic in
Yeah.
Spanish.
And
is
now
on.
you don't go anywhere for 3 hours. Well, probably 4 because of the commercials.
All right,
Anyways.
so let's kick off our Sunday slate. The first game we have up is the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Commanders are favored by 6.5 points. Our matchups that we're going to be looking at, the players that we're going to be looking at, the important offensive players is Russell Wilson for the New York Giants. Their running backs are going to be Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatabo. Be on the lookout for Cam Scatabo. See if he bleeds into Tyrone Tracy's backfield, because this was Tyrone Tracy's backfield last year. Excuse me. Their receiver is Malik Neighbors, and that's basically it. There's not much to go off. I mean, you have Darius Slayton there.
He's always there.
He's always there. It's just he's always just around.
He's always on the Giants, and then he's always on the waiver wire.
And you know what's so
like,
crazy
you know?
is he's always going to score you like 12.2 points, and nobody ever picks him up.
No, yeah, and then when they do pick him up, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, when you pick him up, it's like 3.4 points on the game.
Back to Cam Scatabo, I really think he's gonna fill that role as a scat back.
Okay.
Bro, that was good. That was good.
That was good. Do you think Cam Scatabo takes over?
No, I think Tracy gets the first shot of
Okay,
it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Just given the.
How do you feel about this backfield? Like, would you be comfortable starting Tyrone Tracy this Sunday?
Yes, I mean you should, for the most part, you should be starting any running or feel comfortable starting any running back that you know is going to be the running back one.
Okay.
On any team, because it's like that's better than most options that you might have. So I do think Tracy will get the first shot at it. Like I said, Scatabo will come in, change a pace back, but he's not going to be your main ball carrier.
Is it Scatabo or Scatabo?
Well, actually, it's Scatabo.
I used to say Scatabo because
I would say it's Scatabo because there's only one
only
O.
one O, not two O's.
And Boo is like Boo, like B-O-O, like the
B-O-O,
ghost.
like
You know what I mean?
like boo.
Like Casper. Anyways, I guess the backfield that you kind of are more uncertain about would be the Commanders' backfield at the
Right,
moment.
so we have Jaden Daniels at the helm. Obviously, you're comfortable starting him. And then you have Austin Eckler, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in the backfield. And those are really the two guys you're looking at. I think Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has this backfield, although he is listed as like the running back 3 or 4 on the depth chart.
He might not have it yet.
He might not have it yet. Agreed. Yes. And I would be okay sitting him even if he scored 18 fantasy points tomorrow.
Well, it's the Javonte Williams situation all over again.
Right. You're right. You just don't know yet. Yeah. And Austin Eckler could be the goal line back. He could be the third down guy. So for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt to get 100% of the workload week one, I'm definitely not.
That's not going to happen.
I'm not saying that he's going to because I know he's not going to. But in the case that he does, I'm okay sitting him week one, knowing that I can comfortably start him week two if that does happen.
Right. And you're also probably shading Russell Wilson on this.
Yes, I would not be looking
until we see anything else. But other than that, I mean, Malik Neighbors, I think they said he might have been on the injury report, but then I saw something today that he's not.
It was his back and his foot.
So I think that's just precautionary. If you have him, you're starting him, as well as probably Terry McLaurin. Debo, maybe in a deep league as a deep flex, maybe you can roll him out there, but you probably have better options. A lot of concern about maybe his weight going into this season, so we don't know what he's going to look like.
Well, there's a lot of people saying that Debo might actually be very relevant and back to his 2020.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't know what that looks like yet. So, I mean, if Jaden Daniels decides
so are you starting or sitting Debo?
Right now, you're sitting them.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, That's fair. You can only start McLaurin, you can start Neighbors, you can start Ertz. You're probably not starting either one of the running backs for Washington yet, and then Tracy and Jaden Daniels are probably the only ones that you're going to be for sure starting. Unless you have nobody else but Russell Wilson, then I guess you can roll him out there. But you do see right now there are some quarterbacks on the waiver wire that you could probably fill if you do have Russell Wilson, because I'm not very confident in him at the moment.
Are you confident with the 6.5 spread for the Commanders?
Yeah. It's the Giants. Where this is in Washington?
In Washington.
Okay, yeah. That makes a difference, I guess.
All right, next game we got Tampa at Atlanta Falcons. We have Baker Mayfield. Michael Penix Jr. is going to be making his week one debut. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are favored by 1.5 points, which is a little surprising.
That's crazy, actually.
A little surprising. But you also have to keep in mind that this is a divisional game, and divisional games are always hard no matter what.
It's in Atlanta.
Tampa is on the road. Yeah, so there's a lot of factors going into this, but nonetheless, Tampa is favored by 1.5 points. Baker and Penix, are you starting both of them, or are you just starting Baker?
No, you can't start Penix yet.
Can't start Penix yet?
No
okay,
way.
That's fair. I would wait. Maybe
Plus,
week 3, week 4, if he does.
If you're in a 10-team league, only 10 quarterbacks are starting.
Right. You can't be starting all of these guys unless you're in a super flex.
Right. I mean, if you're in a team, or if you're in a league like one of my friends is, where they have 2 quarterbacks at all times, that's different. But we're talking about standard leagues where you can only start one quarterback. If it's a 12-team league, then you can only 12 of the quarterbacks are going to start. Penix is not in that group. Not yet. He might not ever be, honestly. We'll see.
Well, we got the running backs, Bijan and Bucky, starting both.
Yeah, both
that's a no-brainer. We got a lot of receivers in this game. So we got Drake London, who is obviously 99% of the time a first-round pick. So you're starting him. Mike Evans, starting. Emeka Egbuka, are you starting? Are you sitting? He's a rookie with a lot of potential. First-round pick coming into a very beautiful situation with no Chris Godwin, no McMillan.
Maybe this is one where you just roll the dice and you do start him and see what happens.
Okay, Darnell Mooney was also dealing with, I believe it was I don't know if it was a groin or a foot injury, but he was dealing with an injury. I would not be starting Mooney just yet, just in case. It's the Drake London show, and Michael Penix doesn't even like targeting Darnell Mooney. And then in the tight end position, we have Kyle Pitts, Cade Otton. Again, Cade Otton was also dealing with a groin injury, so I would be very hesitant on starting Cade Otton in any leagues. Pitts.
But if he's cleared by game time, then you might have to start him.
Yeah, you can if you really need to. Again, there's not a lot of great tight end options. You either have a really good tight end, or
if he's on your roster, that's probably who you're counting on to be your tight end going forward.
I feel like Cade Otton and like Jake Ferguson are in the same tier.
Yeah, and that's why I say that, because I have Jake Ferguson. I had to roll him out there. He didn't have the best game, but I mean, he did decent.
7 points that you can just add.
So he's in the same boat. So if you have him on the roster, you probably are going to start him. Kyle Pitts, probably not. It's kind of the same thing where you can only start so many tight ends. You're not starting 2 tight ends, I think, in any league ever. And he probably does not get in my eyes, he doesn't get the start on this one. But that spread is crazy. But I do think Tampa, if they are who we all think they are, then they should make easy work of the Falcons in Atlanta.
Okay, Panthers at Jaguars is our next game. Jaguars are favored at home, 2.5-point favorites. I mean, what do you think about this? Before even getting into the players, do you think the Jaguars should be favored at home, or do you think that the Panthers are being disrespected?
No, dude, it's the Panthers. Yeah, I know you're a huge Bryce Young fan, but
okay, I'm not a huge Bryce
dude.
Young
You
fan.
fucking have a tattoo of Bryce Young on your leg.
Relax. So we got Bryce Young and Trevor Lawrence at the helms of these two teams. Are you okay with starting either of these guys? I feel like neither of these guys are being started in one quarterback leagues right now.
Yeah, I mean Trevor Lawrence probably would be. You could probably make a case for him, but Bryce Young, no. Other than that, I would
actually say the opposite. I would say you could make a case for Bryce Young. Okay,
so
and
let's do this then. So you're gonna take Bryce Young on this one.
I'll take Bryce Young.
I'll take Trevor, and then we'll see who scored the most fantasy points.
All right, we'll come back to this
because I don't think that. I don't know why guys really like Bryce Young that much. I really do not. I don't understand why he gets all this hype. Everyone says, yeah, he played good at the end of the season last year. Okay, well, let's see you do that for a whole season. How about that?
Okay, that's fair. No, that's fair. We got Chuba Hubbard, Trevor Etienne, Tank Bigsby. I'm sorry, Travis Etienne. Oh, we actually have brothers in this game. So we have Trevor and Travis Etienne in this game. Tank Bigsby and Bashal Tutin. I'm staying away from this Jaguars backfield. There's 3 running backs that have been hyped up all throughout camp, and I don't like that. I don't like how there's 3 running backs being hyped up by one singular coach. You can only have 1, maybe 2 relevant running backs in an offense, but 3?
Well, it's that thing. If you have more than 2, then you have none.
Right. So, I mean, I'm staying away from this Jaguars backfield until there is a bona fide running back 1 in this backfield. Chuba Hubbard, I'm okay starting. I'm perfectly fine with Chuba Hubbard. Getting into the wide receivers.
Do you start Travis Hunter? Are people actually doing that?
I don't know. I mean, okay, so we got Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. I'm definitely starting Brian Thomas Jr. He's the better wide receiver.
I mean, that's a given.
And then for the Panthers, we got Tet McMillan, Xavier Legette, Hunter Renfrow. I'm okay starting Tet McMillan. I would sit Renfrow and Legette for week 1.
If you're in a league where you need to start a wide receiver, Hunter Renfrow.
If you get bonus points for a wide receiver, Hunter Renfrow is number 1 on the list.
Yeah, but other than that, the wide receivers for Carolina, I would shade all of them right now.
And then Travis Hunter, I wouldn't start yet. I wouldn't start unless you absolutely have to. If you went really running back heavy and then you went wide receivers late and you picked up Hunter in the 6th, 7th round, I guess I'm okay starting him.
Is there like a way that they can give him points for what he does on the defensive side of the ball? There's no way, right?
So Sleeper actually came out saying, which is the app that we use, Sleeper came out saying themselves that there's no bonus points scored by a defensive player on offense. So unless you put it in manually, which I
don't think a lot of people are going to be doing that. Yeah, and if you are, it's just because you have Travis Hunter on your team.
Right.
I think because if he plays both sides, that it's going to take away from his value on the offensive side of the ball.
So is this the first wide receiver defense stack we could see? Because what if he goes out there and gets a pick 6? You don't get those points. Unless you have the Jags
you'd
defense.
have to start their defense. So I mean, you would have to if you were the biggest Travis Hunter fan ever, and you really believe that on both sides of the ball he's going to be dominant, then you would start him at wide receiver, and then you would start the Jaguars defense alongside him.
That's insane. That's insane. All right, so the tight ends we have Jatavion Sanders, Brenton Strange. I would hold off on starting either one of these guys. I like them both as players. I don't like their situations right now.
No.
So
if we can't start Kyle Pitts, we're not starting these guys.
Yeah, no, I would hold off on starting these guys. Next game up,
I take the Jaguars, though.
I take the Panthers.
I take the Jags on this.
All right.
We'll come back.
That's the game we're split on the most.
So far.
We got Dolphins at the Colts, and I don't know how I feel about this. The Colts are actually favored by 1 point as of last night.
That's criminal.
When I was putting these notes on. So Tua, I mean, some people's drafted him. Some people left him on the waiver. Daniel Jones, more than likely, is not being started in any leagues unless you're a Daniel Jones fan or a Colts fan.
Unless you have Indy in your sports fantasy name, then
like
probably,
Indianapolis Lover 69.
Yeah, exactly. 69.
And then it's like DJ at the end. We got Devon Achane, Ollie Gordon, Jonathan Taylor. Keep Ollie Gordon on your benches, guys. Do not be starting this guy. Wait until after week 1, see what his workload is like. I know he's an exciting young rookie, but again, he is still the running back 2 in this offense. Devon Achane is still the number 1. But as we all know, Devon Achane has suffered multiple concussions last year. Maybe it catches up to him this year. Maybe he doesn't look all that great. Maybe he looks a little bit slower, dips in production. Maybe Tua likes Ollie Gordon a little bit better. But as of right now, Devon Achane should be the only one started in this offense. Jonathan Taylor, you're obviously starting.
Wait, what do you mean, like the only running back to start? Because you're going to start Hill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Running back.
Yeah. Because you said in the offense, so I was like, well, what about him?
I said the only running back that should be started in this offense.
Oh, I thought you said player. My bad.
No.
Anyways,
what do you make of this wide receiver core? We got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins.
Are you starting
and we got
Waddle?
Michael Pittman Jr. and Josh Downs for the Colts.
Are you starting Waddle?
I think some people are. I
would not start Waddle.
I wouldn't start Waddle.
I wouldn't probably either start Michael Pittman Jr. either.
No, I'm not starting Michael Pittman. I don't even think I'm starting Josh Downs.
No, you can't start Josh Downs.
So what?
If you can't start Pittman, you can't start Downs.
Start Tyreek and close your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I'm like, fucking Tyreek.
I don't know. I don't like this game at all.
It's also one of those things where like Waddle could have a game. You never know, but then he could not have a game.
What if 3 weeks into the season we're looking at stats and Waddle has 440 yards with 3 touchdowns, and Tyreek Hill has 120 yards for 2 touchdowns 4 weeks into the season?
I would say that they're going to trade Tyreek then.
You think they trade Tyreek?
Well, I mean, I don't know if they actually will.
If he has under 200 yards in the first 4 weeks.
I feel like he would want to be traded.
Okay.
Like he's like, all right, I'm done. Tua sucks.
And Waddle takes over this workload. Waddle becomes the wide receiver.
But Waddle's very fragile too.
I would hold off on starting all of these guys, but obviously you're more than likely going to have to start one of these guys in any league, unless you're in a 2-man league. But if you're in a typical 10-man league, 12-man league, you're more than likely going to be starting at least 2 of these guys. And I would probably just be looking for Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. I know Josh Downs does get a little bit of a bump up just because we have Daniel Jones instead of Anthony Richardson. But Daniel Jones is not known for his deep ball. He's not known for pushing the ball 60 yards down the field the way Anthony Richardson did.
Yeah, but at some point, somebody's got to catch the ball, right?
Yeah, so again, I mean, if you really, really want to, Josh Downs, and if you really, really have to, which I don't know in any situation you would have to, but again, if you really have to, Michael Pittman Jr. in your flex, close your eyes, hope for the best.
Yeah, just it's a prayer, kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tight ends, Darren Waller was actually ruled out with an injury, and Tyler Warren is going to be the tight end for the Colts. I would be okay with starting Tyler Warren, and then obviously Darren Waller, you can't start. He's out. Just take him out of your lineup.
Yeah, and don't think about starting the backup tight end for the Dolphins. Don't do that.
Absolutely not.
Just I don't know, do something else.
You okay with the Colts being favored in this game by 1?
I think they lose, actually. I think the Dolphins win.
I think the Colts upset them.
Really?
I guess you wouldn't consider it an upset.
No, it's not an upset if they're favored, but I mean...
That's weird.
I just think that the Dolphins just have a better offense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
but
on
they
paper.
have no defense.
It's okay. It could be a shootout. It's not like the Colts are going to be like lights out on defense.
This is going to be the highest scoring game of the week.
31-28?
Nah, it's going to be like
45?
42 to 34.
Tua throws like 4 touchdowns.
Oh my God.
Gets 1 concussion.
Dude, he's going to be the quarterback 1 on the week.
That'd be crazy.
And then next week, he only throws like 75 yards and 3 picks.
I could see that happening.
I could totally see that happening.
No, but I do like the Dolphins in this one in all seriousness. And I'm not a huge Tua fan, but I do think if he can stay healthy that he is decent. He's good. He's not the worst thing that you can have on your roster as far as quarterbacks.
Okay, next we got Raiders at the Patriots. Patriots favored by 2 points at home.
That's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy. Patriots have a great offense this year. They got a lot of additions that we'll get into. So we got Geno Smith, a new addition to the Raiders. Drake May, second-year quarterback for the Patriots. I like starting May. I don't like starting Geno.
No, you wouldn't start Geno yet. I mean, but actually...
Unless you got Bowers and you got no quarterback and you want that stack and he's on the waivers...
It's just because, like, when he was with Seattle, you knew Seattle was going to throw the ball.
Yeah, but, like, okay, so here's the thing. I clearly remember Geno Smith being the quarterback 12 last year in our league, and he was on the waivers.
Yeah, and well, it's because he was very inconsistent though. Like there would be some games where they would tear it up, and then other games where they would have really bad offensive outings.
So
And
again, are you starting Geno?
No,
Are you
I'm
sitting
saying this year you can't because he's with the Raiders, and they're probably going to lean on the run game. So I would say for now.
But if you're a negative game script, you're not going to lean on the run game.
Well, they're probably going to hope not to get into that position. You know what I mean? If they have to throw the ball a lot, then yeah, based on volume, you could start Geno. But for now, it's hard to say that they're going to do that when they're going to probably lean on their running back.
Okay, Drake May, you like in this game?
I
like against
considering the
Raiders.
matchup, yes.
Okay, we got Ashton Genty, Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson in the backfields of their respective teams. Genty, you have to be starting if you took a first, second round pick on him.
Yeah.
Ramondre, are you starting? Because here's the thing: is Ramondre just got paid this offseason.
I mean,
or
I
last
would start him.
offseason. He's still the running back one in this team. And Travion Henderson is a rookie who we have not seen in a full game.
You could probably start him as an RB2.
Okay, and Travion?
I wouldn't start him this
You
game.
wouldn't start. What if you had to? What if you took a 5th round pick on him?
If you took him that early,
You got to be
you
starting
probably
him.
have to start him then. I mean, as a flex, possibly, but
If he's your wide receiver too, you messed up.
No,
But
yeah, for sure.
If he's a flex, I think I'm okay putting him at the flex.
Yeah.
If you're in a double flex league,
I guess it depends on your options, but yeah, if he's on your roster, he probably looks like a decent option, right?
right. Okay, so we got Jacoby Myers, Jack Besh, Dante Thornton, Stephon Diggs, Efton Chisholm, and Kyle Williams. We got a lot of receiving options that have been talked about all throughout this offseason, even last season for these guys or for these teams. And we don't know which ones are going to be good. We don't know if Jacoby's in a contract year. He requested a trade. Jack Besh, Dante Thornton, both rookies. Efton Chisholm, Kyle Williams, both rookies. We got 2 veterans, 2 rookie, or 1 veteran per team, 2 rookies per team. We don't know what any of them are going to be this year.
Is Jacoby the one that requested a trade and then they told him no and he was like, okay?
Yeah.
The most professional wide receiver
Yeah,
ever,
he's
bro.
like, oh.
All right.
Okay,
oh,
sorry.
Okay, it was just an idea.
I just figured it might work.
I'll go back to watching film now. Like, you know what I mean? It's
So
funny.
does Jacoby go out there and show out this year because he's in a contract year? Is he better because Geno is his quarterback now?
Yes, but I don't know if like just because you're in a contract year, you're gonna have the year of your life because you can't control everything, right?
Right.
You can't control if the ball's not coming to you. You're not gonna be able to produce. So out of everyone here, he's probably the only one I would feel comfortable starting though.
Okay, let's say you had to start a Patriots wide receiver. Who are you starting?
I guess you're starting Diggs just based off the name.
You have to, right?
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
based off that, and then he actually has some history of being productive. So,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
And then
like those years with Minnesota, like you plug and play them, dude.
I think this is one of those games where both tight ends can be started as a starting tight end. Brock
Yes.
Bowers, Hunter Henry, they're both solid options. Obviously, Bowers coming off of his stellar rookie year. Patriots favored by 2. You like that?
Yes, just because I don't like the Raiders. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it's hard for like if I was to sit here and say that I think the Raiders are going to win this game, I would be lying straight to your face.
Okay, well, we
And
got a few
I don't
more
like to
games to
do
go
that.
through. We got the Steelers favored at the Jets by 3 points. Aaron Rodgers faces off against Justin Fields, and they both go against their former teams. These guys swap places in the offseason. Rodgers was released by the Jets. Fields was released by the Steelers. Or should I say not re-signed by the Steelers?
He was told to pack his bags and not return.
Yep. So he
know what
ended
I
up
mean?
signing I believe it was a 1 or 2 year contract with the Jets. Same thing with Rodgers, signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers. This almost feels like it's going to be Rodgers' last year in the league.
This feels like it's going to be 9-6. And it's all going to be kickers. That's it.
I can totally see
yeah,
that.
so fantasy wise, this might be a
Start
game.
these kickers.
Well, start these kickers,
Yeah.
start these defenses,
Start these
and
defenses.
shade all the skill players.
Because there's going to be at least 1 pick.
Oh,
at
dude.
least 2 picks,
Bro,
a fumble, and
Aaron
4
Rodgers
field
is throwing
goals.
at least 2 interceptions this week. I guarantee it, dude.
All right.
Because he's going to
You
come
like-
out like,
You like the betting prop for Rodgers and Fields both for a pick?
oh, yeah, that one's
Okay,
easy.
yeah.
And the reason I say it for Rodgers for sure, because he's coming out against his quote unquote former team. right?
And he's gonna want to show out.
And he's gonna be like, "Oh, you guys don't think I could throw that pigskin?" And he's gonna be
pick six.
He's gonna be forcing balls,
Okay.
like down the field.
Pause,
you know what I mean?
Forcing balls down what?
Down the field. You know what I mean?
Down his field.
Down his field. He's gonna be forcing balls down somebody's mouth at some point.
All right, we got Jalen Warren, Caleb Johnson, Breece Hall, all in the backfields.
Maybe Breece Hall.
Okay, I'm okay starting Breece Hall as like your your running back 2 or a flex. Are you starting any of the Steelers backfield? Caleb Johnson,
no.
Jalen Warren?
No.
I don't like starting either of them either. Nope. Wait until after we see what this backfield is made of. Maybe wait 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But if you really have to, I think I'm okay starting Jalen Warren just because he is going to be getting the start over Caleb Johnson, and you really hope for passing work. We have DK Metcalf. I don't even want to mention this name because of how gross it is, but we got Calvin Austin as the wide receiver 2 for the Steelers. And Garrett Wilson is really the only wide receiver for the Jets that you should be starting. He was taken so late in drafts this year, and he was dropping and dropping and dropping. And I think in even one draft, he dropped all the way to the 7th round because nobody wanted him. I definitely didn't want him, which is why I didn't take him. But if you're taking him in the 7th round and you're starting him in a double flex league as your flex or maybe as your wide receiver too, but I would not be expecting a touchdown this week. I would not be expecting over 100 yards this week just because the Steelers do have a good defense still. Their tight ends, Pat Freiermuth, Mason Taylor. If you really have to, Pat Freiermuth, I would not start Mason Taylor just yet. He is, again, one of those exciting rookie tight ends, but we have to really see what this offense is made of.
Can we go back to the Garrett Wilson thing really fast?
Yeah.
A lot of people put him in that same class as like when they see like the wide receivers from Ohio State that have just recently come out. He's in that class, right?
And see, I think he's a good wide
right.
receiver.
And so
he's never had a good situation.
Yeah, what I was trying to get at really fast is that maybe the reason that he slid and that so many people are so low on him fantasy wise is because of who his quarterback is, right?
Right.
And so maybe like if things had worked out differently and like somebody like maybe like Daniel Jones is there starting instead, I think Wilson's value would have retained and maintained at that higher level because last year when Aaron Rodgers was there, everybody expected him to have a very, very big year. Obviously, it didn't pan out the way that they wanted it to, but I do think he's still very talented. It's just that Justin Fields is really, really, really a liability as a quarterback sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Fields is extremely inconsistent. You can have one game where he has 80 passing yards and 80 rushing yards, which is great for fantasy, but you can also have a game where he throws 2 picks, 150 yards, and 12 rushing yards.
He hurts the other players' fantasy values around him.
Yeah, so I would be very hesitant on starting any of the Jets' offense just to see, again, what they're made of. But there could be a little bit of chemistry. They did play in college together at Ohio State.
Yeah, but this isn't college, brother.
I know. No, I know. I'm just saying there could be something there. There could be chemistry there. Maybe they
have like a secret route that they run.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you want to run that route from college?
But all I'm saying is that Garrett Wilson, I still like him as a player, but like this situation is not the best. And I'm taking the Steelers on this one.
Yeah, I'll confidently take the Steelers here. We got the Bengals and the Browns next up. Bengals are favored on the road by 5.5 points. Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco at the helm. We got 2 Joes. We got Jamar Chase. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
So this is the Joe Bowl?
This is the Joe Bowl.
Wow.
The Joe Bowl.
Week 1 already. Fuck yes. That's why I love the NFL, dude.
Oh, my God. We got the Joe Bowl.
How come nobody's like talking up the Joe Bowl?
I don't know.
Like, this is a big deal.
Is Joe Flacco's full name Joe? Is it Joe? Or is it Joseph?
No, I feel like if it was Joseph.
I feel like it would be Joseph Flacco.
No, we would know if it was Joseph, though. They would call him Joseph. You know what I mean? Like his name, his birth certificate has to say Joe.
It's Joseph.
It's Joseph? Oh, fuck. Okay.
Dude, how did I call that?
That's funny.
Oh, my God.
So wait, then what's Joe Burrow's name?
Joseph Vincent Flacco.
Is Joe an actual Joe? Is Burrow an actual Joe?
Let me see. It's Joseph.
No. So this is the Joseph Bowl.
This is the Joseph Bowl.
Wait, why are we shading Joseph like that? Like, why can't you be Joseph? Like, why do you have to be Joe?
Wait, was Joe Montana's name Joseph?
No, he's got to be Joe. Back then, like, I think you would name him just Joe. No, it's Joseph too? What the hell?
Dude, what other Joe is there?
Jose? No, that's no.
Joe.
Joe Thomas?
Joe Namath.
Joe Thomas too?
Joe Namath is Joseph too?
Yeah, look up Joe Thomas.
Is there no true Joe?
There has to be a true Joe.
Joe Thomas?
Yeah.
Joseph.
Oh my God. What did we just stumble into, bro?
Dude, we're going down a rabbit hole.
Okay,
right now.
and if I was the creator of the name Joseph, I would be really mad right now. Because everybody's shading the whole name.
Everybody's shading Joseph. It's just Joe.
They're just like, get rid of the Seth part. Like, let's just fucking
the Seth part.
let's just run Joe. It's easier to say, and I can't spell. You know what I mean?
Let me see.
That's crazy.
We got Joe Namath, Joe Montana, Joe Thomas, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. No, he's a Joe for
You
sure.
think he's a Joe?
Yeah, and you know why? I'm not gonna say why, but
It's
you know
Joseph.
why. Oh, it's Joseph too.
It's
Oh my God.
Is there no true Joe out there?
That's kind of disappointing. Joe Girardi, do you know who that is?
I don't know.
Joe Girardi, look him up. He was a Yankees manager in the 90s. Yeah, he's an old feller. I think he's dead actually.
It's Joseph.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Dude, what the hell?
Wait, is there no true Joe?
Joe. What's another Joe? Joe Mama?
Joe Tooney.
Joe Tooney. Who the hell is Joe Tooney?
What the?
You're just looking up Joes.
Hall of Fame.
I don't
tackle
have a
from the
computer in
Browns.
front of me to just look up Joes.
Joe
You
Tooney.
didn't even know Joe Girardi.
Joe Tooney's Joseph.
Okay.
Is
guess
there no
that's
true
it.
Joe
that's
ever?
It. I can't think of any other Joes.
I can't think.
Should
of
I
any
go
other
through my
Joe.
phone?
See if you know any Joes and be like,
Yeah.
yo, is your full name Joe
Yo,
or
is your-
Joseph?
and then it's like, no, I'm Jose because we're in
Oh,
El Paso. Okay, back to the game. The Joe Bowl, the Joseph Bowl. Which one are we going with?
Nah, I want to go down this rabbit
Okay,
hole.
well,
now.
you go down the rabbit hole, but which one are we going with? Joseph Bowl or the Joe Bowl?
Let's go with the Joe Bowl.
Dude,
Joe
but-
Flock? Oh, no, we were just
No,
talking
we just
about Joe
talked
Flacco.
about
I'm so
it.
stupid.
Dude, but
There's Joe Alt. the
okay,
new
but
tackle
why
from the Chargers.
but why are we so mad at Joseph?
Bro, Joe Alt is Joseph. Bro, they're all Joseph.
Okay, but why are we so mad at Joseph?
I'm
What's
not
wrong
mad
with
at
Joseph?
It's just like, I'm just shocked. I'm not mad.
That's like, well, I guess
I'm
well,
flabbergasted.
maybe it's the same as like Christopher Chris, right?
Oh, yeah, your name's not Chris, huh?
Yeah, it's Christopher. Yeah. But then like some
What about Chris
Chris
Collinsworth?
but then some of Chris's are like Christians. And those are like the ones you got to stay away from. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever trust a Chris whose name is Christian.
Dude, Chris Collinsworth, his first name isn't even Chris.
What is it?
It's Anthony.
Anthony Christopher?
Anthony Chris.
Oh,
But
wow.
it's C-R-I-S.
Okay, nice.
Anthony
don't-
Chris Collinsworth.
And also don't trust people that spell Chris C-R-I-S either.
So don't trust Collinsworth.
Yeah. Watch out for that guy.
Jeez. Okay, so let's get back to it.
The
Bengals
Joe
are
Bowl.
favored 5.5 in the Joe Bowl. We got Flacco. We got Burrow. Obviously starting Burrow. Are you really starting Flacco in this game?
Nah, dude, hell no.
What if he throws like 4 touchdowns?
He's not going to.
He's not a mobile quarterback.
I know that, but he's also not going to throw 4 touchdowns. He's playing with the Browns.
It's also the Bengals defense, who was atrociously bad last
nope,
year.
not happening, folks.
Okay, we got Chase Brown in the backfield, and we got 3 running backs to look for as the Browns. So as of last night when I was doing these notes, Quinshon Judkins was not signed. So it was the Jerome Ford show. Dylan Sampson was going to be your backup. And now, as of this morning, we got news that Quinshon Judkins officially signed his rookie contract. I believe it was 4 years, $11 million, fully guaranteed for him. And there is no legality coming out saying that he is going to be suspended at all yet. If it does happen, maybe it happens later in the season. Maybe it even happens next season. But as of right now, he is facing no suspension from the NFL. So I think I'm okay starting Quinshon Judkins in this game, or maybe sit him, keep him on your bench. Don't trade him away for anything, just in case he does end up being the running back 1 on this team. But for now, if you really have to, I would probably be starting Jerome Ford, Chase Brown, end of list. Wide receivers, we got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Isaiah Bond. Again, we have 3 wide receivers to look out for on this Browns offense. I don't see Joe Flacco finishing the year as the Browns quarterback. So I would be very hesitant on all 3 of these wide receivers. Jerry Jeudy is obviously your wide receiver 1. Cedric Tillman is I believe he's a sophomore this year. And Isaiah Bond is your fresh rookie. Again, he was dealing with legal issues, which is why he went undrafted to finish off the weekend. And it was very surprising to everybody that he was not drafted. But now that he is signed with the Browns after the draft, do you really look for him? Do you stash him on your bench? Maybe he shows out. Maybe he's just as electric as he was in college. Does he become the wide receiver 1, the wide receiver 2 on this team? there's a lot of questions to be answered with Isaiah Bond, but I'm okay starting both Jamar and T. Higgins on the Bengals. I would be hesitant starting Jerry Jeudy, but again, I feel like that's the only wide receiver I would start from this list. We got Mike Gesicki, David Njoku. I'm okay starting both of those tight ends if you really have to start Mike Gesicki, and I guarantee you 100% of people are starting David Njoku.
Yeah, so really fast, who's the Browns' backup quarterback? Do you know? Who's their
Which
second?
one? There's like
well,
5.
yeah, but like who's listed as their second? Like, is it Sanders?
Let me look that up for you.
So, and the only reason I'm asking is that because you were asking about Isaiah Bond. He with Joe Flacco, I don't think his ceiling is very high. But if there's a switch at quarterback and it's somebody that's going to air the ball out, like I think Joe will air the ball out, but I think he's going to look for like Jared Jeudy.
Which
more.
Joe?
Joe Flacco. Joseph, my bad.
So Dylan Gabriel is actually listed as their running. Or
that actually probably
too.
doesn't help Bond either.
Shador is 3, and then Deshaun is obviously out.
Yeah. I would say Bond this year, you might, like, if you have him on a fantasy, like a keeper league, then maybe, yeah, for the future. But I would say probably this year, he's probably not going to have that big of a impact fantasy-wise. And if you have to start Jerry Jeudy, good fucking luck because the Browns.
No, I think Jerry Jeudy is going to be good in this game.
I mean, it's hard, dude, because like the Browns, though, like the way they play is like you never know what you're going to get out of them. So I would say if you have to start him, that's fine. But I'm not looking at Tillman. I'm not looking at Bond. And then obviously like with the Bengals, Jamar, T. Higgins, yeah, of course, you have to roll both of them out there.
Cardinals at the Saints. Cardinals
Wait,
are
who do you got? Bengals, obviously?
Yeah, okay. I got the Bengals. Cardinals at the Saints. Cardinals favored by 5.5 points. I don't like anyone in this list except maybe one, but we'll get to him. So we got Kyler Murray, Spencer Rattler. You're absolutely not starting Spencer Rattler.
Nope.
Would you be starting Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I mean, just based on his ability to run the ball.
Okay, so we got James Conner, Trey Benson, Alvin Kamara in the backfield. I'm okay starting James Conner. I'm okay starting Alvin Kamara just because of the workload that he does get.
Especially in PPR leagues.
Yeah, Trey Benson, stash on your bench. I have high hopes for him this year. He's being talked up in camp again, which I know he was last year as a rookie, but rookies are not always hot out the gates. This is his second year in the league. James Conner is another year older, another year closer to getting out of the league or maybe even coming off of the Cardinals. I know that they are big on their run game with James Conner because he is a bigger back, but Trey Benson could possibly be something this year. So don't be starting him, but stash him on your bench. Hope for the best for later down the line. Maybe James Conner, don't hope that he gets an injury, but maybe he does get an injury and maybe Trey Benson becomes more relevant than we expect. Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, I'm sorry. Michael Wilson is a name that flew under the radar all of last year, all of this year. Looking at Kyler Murray throwing the ball, there has not been a lot of chemistry between him and Marvin Harrison Jr. And last year, his 2 receiving options were Trey Benson and Trey McBride, and Michael Wilson actually got a lot of the deep balls. And I think a lot of people overlook that. I don't think he's going to be extremely fantasy relevant. But again, if you run into a lot of injuries, if you had a bad draft, if you traded away a lot of players for one player and you need some depth, maybe Michael Wilson is a name to look for. Not necessarily you want to start him, but if you really have to, I don't think that's necessarily a bad name, especially against this Saints defense. Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed is on the other side with Spencer Rattler throwing them the ball. I'm not starting any of these guys. I don't care if you're Chris Olave. I don't care if you're Randy Moss in this offense. I'm not starting you.
I think Olave is going to get started, though.
He is going to get started, but I would not be starting
him.
No, yeah.
But a lot of people are probably going to have to start him. Shaheed, if you have him on your roster, I mean, you're really kind of digging deep, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, he's shown some flashes, but I think really the Spencer Rattler situation is going to kind of put a top on whatever he can actually do. And so I would not roster him at the moment. And obviously, if you're not rostered, you're not going to start. And then Trey McBride, obviously, he's going to be like probably a top 5 tight end this week.
Yeah, there's not much to be said about Trey McBride. Just start him. Don't even think twice about it. We got the 49ers favorite.
Who you got, Cardinals or Saints?
Cardinals. That's a no-brainer. I feel like that needs to go unsaid.
Yeah, we're rolling the Cardinals here. Yeah.
All right, we got 49ers at the Seahawks, and the 49ers are actually favored on the road by 1.5 points, which I think is insane.
I was really about to defend the Saints right there. Could you believe that? I was like trying to come up with like some sort of argument. And
you were
like,
trying. I saw it.
And then
and you were like, yeah, no,
I
this
was
team
like,
sucks. Okay, so we got Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold at the helms. I'm okay starting Brock Purdy. Again, if you're in a super flex league, if you have to start 2 quarterbacks, Sam Darnold is a good start. If you're in a 1 QB league, I would leave him on the waivers.
No, yeah, even Purdy might be like on the kind of the fringes of starting if you're in like a 10-teamer. But if you're on a 12-teamer, I would say he probably does get started. Depending also on, because it's not a bad matchup against the Seahawks, so probably will throw a lot. McCaffrey might not even go. If he doesn't go, then...
I just got news that Christian McCaffrey is likely, quote, likely to play against the Seahawks tomorrow afternoon.
So there could be a question of his workload. It might be a little lighter, so then they might either rely on Brian Robinson a little bit more, but he's not gonna be featured instead of McCaffrey.
No, I don't think so. I think Christian McCaffrey still gets most of the workload.
But Purdy could benefit from something like that. So there's a chance that he does get started. For sure, you're going to want to stay away from Sam Darnold. I agree as well.
Okay, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet is the backfield. We all know how talented both of these running backs are. It's a matter of if Kenneth Walker can stay healthy, and that's been the storyline for him the last 2 years. He's missed multiple games over multiple years already, and whenever he's out, Zach Charbonnet comes in as the featured back, and he's not any pushover by any means. He ends up being a very, very, very relevant running back, no matter who the matchup is. He's a very talented back, and I don't think the Seahawks are going to let him or Kenneth Walker go. I think this is a great 1-2 punch. It's just unfortunate that Kenneth Walker deals with a lot of injuries. Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, JSN, Cooper Kupp are the 4 wide receivers that you are going to be looking for. I'm okay starting Ricky Pearsall. I'm okay starting JSN. Juwan Jennings, Cooper Kupp, if you really have to start them in a flex spot, you can do so. I think they're both going to be okay. I don't think that they're going to be getting 20 points, but I think that they are okay starts. I don't think you're like, oh my God, I have to start Juwan Jennings. Like, if you really have to, it's okay. Kittle, you plug and you play. You don't think about it twice.
I could see Cooper Kupp coming down with like a touchdown somehow.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just getting you some points like that.
And I actually am gonna go against the odds here. I'm gonna go the Seahawks this game.
I would go Seattle too, especially if like McCaffrey's not 100%. That's gonna really put like it's gonna make the offense not run the way that it should. And so,
this is a new 49ers offense that we're looking at.
And this is in Seattle too.
So I mean, like, we haven't seen a full season of Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings being the wide receiver 1 and 2 on the team.
Do they still have the 12th man in Seattle, or did he take off also?
The 12th man is the audience, or is
that's
the
what
fans?
That was the joke. Good God, bro.
I thought you were being serious. It's because you didn't say it like sarcastically. You were like, "Oh, did that guy take off?"
No, I know, but I said the 12th man for a reason. Or did he leave with the rest of them?
Probably.
He left
you know what?
with
That's
Russell?
my fault. That's my fault. I should have picked up on that.
Yeah, when Russell and everybody else left, the Legion of Boom, they 12th man said I'm out.
Too. Yeah, they were like,
okay.
we
just because I haven't heard a lot about that anymore.
No, you don't even hear a lot.
And I was wondering if he was still on the team.
Okay, yeah, look.
I'm going Seattle too.
I just got hype right here. All signs are pointing towards Christian McCaffrey, quote, calf playing versus the Seahawks via rap sheet.
Right. So he is going to play, but like we said, we don't know what the workload will be. But yeah, I'm taking Seattle too. The next one you have is the Tennessee Titans led by Cam Ward.
So we got Tennessee at the Broncos. The Broncos have the biggest favorable matchup of the week, -8. Cam Ward, Bo Nix. I'm not starting Cam Ward. I need to see what this offense looks like. This is a brand new offense that we're looking at with Cam Ward. Bo Nix, I'm absolutely starting. This is going to be a great game for Bo Nix. Hopefully. I would be very, very hesitant on starting any of the Titans this week for 2 reasons. 1, you have a rookie quarterback. You don't know what this team is looking like. Number 2, you are going up against one of, if not the best defenses in the league right now with the Denver Broncos. Not to mention that you are on the road. So Cam Ward, I'm sitting. Tony Pollard, would be the only start if you really had to. Calvin Ridley, I'm sitting. Chigakonkwo, I'm sitting.
No, I would say Pollard is going to get started pretty across the, like, I would say a lot of people will be starting Pollard.
Yeah, he's more than likely a running back 2 on 90% of rosters.
So he's going to get go. I don't know about Calvin Ridley though. That one
I would absolutely sit Calvin Ridley. I think best case scenario, he ends up with 45 yards and a touchdown, but it's going to be on like 3 receptions.
Yeah, so not a lot of volume there. Sutton, you're going to start for sure.
Sutton, you start.
Marvin Mims.
What do you think about RJ Harvey with the Broncos? That's their new running back 1. He's a rookie. Sean Payton has really talked him up.
Well,
he's the one that reached for him in the draft.
If you don't want another Javonte Williams situation to happen, then go ahead and put him in. But don't be surprised if he doesn't pop the way that you think he should.
Right, absolutely. Sutton, again, you're sitting. Marvin Mims, if you really need to throw in a flex option, if you have no one else, maybe he's on waivers. Maybe your flex option was Jordan Addison, or maybe it was Rashee Rice, and that's taking up a spot in your draft. You have to go get this guy off waivers. So again, I think he's an okay flex spot. I can see him coming down with a touchdown against this defense, but not much else. Chigakonkwo, Evan Ingram. I'm sitting Chig. I think I would be starting Evan Ingram just because of where he was drafted, but I'm not so sure on starting Evan Ingram week 1 just because, again, we don't know what Evan Ingram is going to be in this offense, but I do like Bo Nix. I'm high on the Broncos this year, so I wouldn't have a problem starting him. I just don't know if I would be excited starting him.
But I mean, would you rather start him or like someone like Dalton Kincaid?
Yeah, I'm starting Ingram.
You know what I mean? And it's just because like his potential and like when he was healthy with Jacksonville, he was really targeted a lot,
right?
Especially down the field.
Absolutely.
And I could see like if he is healthy that Bo Nix would probably like to throw to a guy that big. You know what I mean? And so that could be beneficial. He could also sneak into the end zone, so that would be just if you get that from your tight end, you're automatically in a good position. So he wouldn't be the worst person to start at tight end this week.
Broncos favored by 8. You like that?
Yeah, they should be able to cover that.
I think they cover that too.
Yeah.
We got the Lions at the Packers. Packers being favored at home by 1.5 points. We got Jared Goff, Jordan
Micah
Love
Parsons
facing off. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs in the backfield. How do you feel about both backfields? I know that Gibbs is obviously going to be started. Josh Jacobs is obviously going to be started. Jared Goff is more than likely going to be started.
I would say Montgomery's getting started too.
Are we starting Montgomery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because like I mean these guys do
He's a touchdown monster.
right, and that's what I was gonna say is they do swap like
every other drive.
And like usually if they get down like to like the goal line situations where they have like first and goal from like maybe like the 8, you can see them pounding it with Montgomery because he can chew up those yardage down there. And so I would say that you do start him if he's on your squad. Obviously, Gibbs is a no-brainer. Josh Jacobs a no-brainer as well. And
Jordan Love in a 1 QB league. Do you like starting that? Especially against the Lions.
This week, it's probably going to be rough. But I mean, going forward, I would still think Love should be started. But yeah, this matchup might not be the best. I mean, they are at Lambeau, so I mean, you never know. But if he's airing it out a lot, then yeah, that's going to be working in his favor. But if the Lions are able to get to him and they kind of lean more on the run game, then Love might not have that upside.
We got a lot of receiving options to look out for this season for the Lions, and I say that because they have a brand new rookie, Isaac Tesla. He was, I believe, a 3rd rounder, and Dan Campbell was the one that went up and traded up to go draft him a little earlier than he should have been. So we have Amon-Ra St. Brown, again, is going to be a wide receiver 1. I like Amon-Ra again this year. I think Jamison Williams is going to have a great year. And I think Jared Goff is going to have a great year, even without having Ben Johnson at offensive coordinator. I think Dan Campbell is the motor of the Motor City team. Get it?
He makes that thing run, boy.
He makes that thing run. He got that diesel.
Oh, God.
So yeah, I like Amon-Ra. I like Jamison Williams. Sit Isaac Tesla if you have him. Keep him on your bench. See what he looks like. Matthew Golden, I think, is worthy of being started in this game simply because it's the Packers, it's the Lions. This game is always a good matchup. You're always going to have to keep in game. you're never going to have a 40-point negative game script with either of these teams playing. You're always going to have a close game. Even when the Lions were, dog water a couple years ago and Aaron Rodgers was running all over them, it was still close games. So again, this is one of those game matchups where no matter how good or how bad the team is, one of these teams is going to be in a close negative game script and you're going to have to throw the ball. Matthew Golden, I think, is going to be a good receiving option. Keep an eye on Jaden Reed. I know that he was questionable coming into week 1, so keep an eye on him. If he turns out healthy and he's not on the injury report to start tomorrow morning, you can absolutely start him. Sam Laporta, Tucker Kraft, I'm starting both of those guys. I'm okay with starting both of them. I see them both as top 10 receiving options this week at the tight end position.
The one that I would say probably I'd have the most doubts about would be Tucker Kraft. But yeah, Sam Laporta for sure. You got to roll him out there.
I'm rolling with the Lions, actually. I don't like the Packers being favored.
I'm going to go with the Packers.
Okay, I'll go with the Lions. We got the Texans at the Rams. Rams are favored at home by 3. We got Stroud. We got Stafford. More than likely, Stroud is going to be started in a 12-man, 1 QB league. If you're in a double flex, both of these guys are going to, or if you're in a super flex, both of these guys are going to be started. So if you're in a super flex, I would be okay starting both of them, obviously. If you're in a 1 QB league, I would not be starting Stafford just because he was dealing with that back injury all offseason. We don't know what this offense is going to look like with Devontae Adams instead of Cooper Kupp. CJ Stroud he's a good quarterback, and I think people shit on him a lot last year just because he wasn't the flashiest the way he was his rookie year, but I think he is still a great quarterback. Nick Chubb is going to be taking the workload this year, or at least to start the year, because Joe Mixon did land himself on the NFI list, so he will be out for at least the first 4 weeks. Kyron Williams is going to be the bell cow in the Rams offense. I like starting Kyron. I'm very hesitant on starting Chubb, but if you were a Joe Mixon manager, if you drafted him before he landed on the NFI list, and you had to go pick up Chubb either off waivers or you traded a small thing for him, I'm okay with starting him if that's your scenario. If that's not your scenario and you have 2 other running backs, don't think twice about it. Start those other running backs. Do not start Nick Chubb if you don't have to. Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. I like all 4 of these guys. And I like all 4 of these guys because Matthew Stafford is known to be good enough to keep 2 wide receivers relevant in fantasy terms. Puka Nacua is obviously your round 1 monster that you probably drafted. Devontae Adams is obviously a target and a red zone god. Nico Collins looked really good last year when he was healthy and when he was on the field. And I think Stroud is good enough, same way as Matthew Stafford, to keep 2 wide receivers relevant. So keep Jaden Higgins in mind in case he's not on your team, in case he's on waivers. Keep an eye on him this game. He might be relevant. He might be good enough to start this year because we did see Christian Kirk land on the injury list, and Tank Dell is also going to be out for the season after suffering that gruesome knee injury last year. Dalton Schultz, I would not be looking to start for. Tyler Higbee, I would also not be looking to start. So keep away from these tight ends, I think. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, those tight ends are kind of guys you could use later on in the season to like fill in like during a bye week.
Right.
But out the gate week 1, yeah, I mean, unless you have nobody else, those guys probably shouldn't be starting. Nico Collins is a given. He should see a sheer amount of volume, really.
Right.
So that would keep his fantasy floor high. Puka Nacua, obviously, if you took him, you got to roll him out there. Devontae, he's going to start. I don't know how productive he's going to be, but I mean, if he's a shell of himself, Matt Stafford should be able to utilize that. So other than that, I mean,
Do you like the Rams favored at home, or do you like?
No, I was actually going to say I think the Texans can pull this one
I
out.
think the Texans too. I think the Texans have a better defense, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to who throws the first pick.
And I think Stafford is like 100%. I think he's just one of those players that will always have a designation, but there
was talks about him getting an epidural. I don't know if that's
right,
100%.
but like he's gonna play. Like, you know what I mean? Like that guy is tough as nails, so like he's gonna have to be shot in the knee before he fucking takes a snap off.
I mean, we were just talking about him earlier, how he came back into the game after a shoulder dislocation.
So I'm not even worried. Like, I'm not even like, if I'm thinking about starting somebody over Stafford, like I'm not considering his health as a like a decision factor. You know what I mean? Like the guy's going to be okay. But yeah, like I said, I got the Texans on this one.
I got the Texans too. So let's move on to our two final primetime games. We got Sunday Night Football. We got Monday Night Football to talk about, and that'll wrap us up. Sunday Night Football will be the Ravens at the Bills, and this is kind of one of those money lines that's been going back and forth. So depending on which day you were looking at it, the Ravens may have been favored or the Bills may have been favored. But as of last night, jotting these notes down, the Bills were favored by 1.5 points at home. We got Lamar Jackson, we got Josh Allen. You're starting both of those guys. That's your number one. That's your number two on the season. We got Derrick Henry, James Cook. You're absolutely starting both of those guys. We got Zay Flowers, we got Rashad Bateman, D-Hop, Shakir, Keon Coleman. I would be starting probably two of these guys, and if you really have to throw the other one in the flex, I'm okay with that. Zay Flowers, you're going to be starting. Keon Coleman, you're going to be starting in like a 12-man in a double flex league. Shakir is technically the one on this team, and Josh Allen likes Shakir, but I think Keon Coleman is going to have a better year than Shakir this year. Better year than Shakir this year.
Hopefully. Well, that was good. You got some bars on you, huh?
Thanks. Rashad Bateman is usually good for a touchdown, but he's never your 9 receptions for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns kind of guy. He's usually your 3 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown. So if you really have to throw him in at flex, I'm okay with doing that. I'm okay with throwing Shakir in at flex. D-Hop, if you have him on your bench, your draft went wrong. But if he is on your bench, I guess it's worth holding on to him, seeing if he can be relevant. Mark Andrews, Dalton Kincaid, you're more than likely starting both of them in a 12-man league. If you're in a 10-man league, I don't know if either of these guys.
Kincaid makes the cut.
Yeah, I don't know if Mark Andrews makes the cut, but Mark Andrews, again, is one of those guys like Bateman where he's now at the point of his career where it's touchdown or bust.
Well, but I feel like people have that positive outlook on Mark Andrews where they always draft him and they're always running him out there. Kincaid.
Just because, Lamar Jackson is your quarterback.
Yeah.
You know?
Kincaid can fall into the end zone, so, that may or may not happen, but he could also, lay a goose egg.
You got the Ravens or the Bills?
So
I actually got, as much as I love the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, I got the Bills at home.
I want to say that Lamar comes out and makes a statement.
Really?
Yeah, game 1, Like
I would hope for that as a fan of Lamar Jackson, but in terms of who I think is going to win, I think the Bills.
Well, this one's just a barn burner. You know what I mean? So if you have a barn burner, you don't know what a barn burner is?
Nah.
Oh my God.
What is that?
It's just like I just look it up. I don't want to even explain it. A barn burner is like, oh, this should be a good game.
Okay. Well, we got the Monday night game.
And if you have a barn, watch out because it might get burned down.
Okay. Well, we got the final game of the week.
What's a barn burner?
Monday night football. We got Vikings at the Bears. We got Bears favored by 1 at home. JJ McCarthy, Caleb Williams are your 2 quarterbacks. Again.
Why is this the Monday night game?
You know what? Because I think, okay, so here's the thing with these 2 offenses. They're good. The problem is they're in a really good division.
No, I know,
got
but
the
like
Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, the Bears. That's all one division.
Right.
And for the past 5 years, the Bears have won the offseason, so we talk about them so highly in the offseason. They come out the gates starting 1-0, 2-0, and then they end up finishing the season at 4-10 like they did last year. So Caleb Williams is looked at very highly this year. So is JJ McCarthy. If you're starting these guys in fantasy, I don't really have a problem with that. It's just if that is your quarterback one, you probably went heavy in other categories and you focused on quarterback late, kind of like I did. I went heavy in every other position, and then I waited too long to get a quarterback. So I ended up with JJ McCarthy. I'm going to be starting him. He is my quarterback 1 on the week for me. Obviously, I'm not saying in rankings, but he is my quarterback 1. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, DeAndre Swift, and keep a lookout for Roschon Johnson. He's more than likely not going to be playing this game because he did end up with a foot injury. But Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, you also want to keep an eye on that backfield. I'm obviously starting Aaron Jones. Keep Jordan Mason on your bench. If you really have to, throw him in your flex option. Jordan Mason could take over this backfield if Aaron Jones ends up with an injury, if he ends up just looking slower than he usually is. But more than likely, it is going to be the Aaron Jones show once again.
Yep.
DeAndre Swift, keep a lookout for him. You're more than likely starting him in your league. But I think he could be really good this year with the new Ben Johnson offense, the way he ran things in Detroit. I think he has a better outlook this season. Roschon Johnson, if he does play, if you want to bet on him for a touchdown, it could hit because Roschon Johnson is usually that goal line back, that third down back that gets that 1-2 yard punch. So that'll be the backfield for these two teams. Justin Jefferson, you're obviously starting. Adam Thielen comes from the Panthers.
He's
and he
back.
signs back with the Minnesota Vikings. This is more than likely going to be his last stint in the NFL, his last 2 years, maybe last year. What do you make?
You can't start Thielen, though.
No. You're not starting Thielen. What do you make of this Bears receiving core? I mean, you got just at wide receiver, not even touching tight end. We got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden. Luther Burden is the exciting rookie that they drafted this year. Rome Odunze was the exciting rookie last year. And DJ Moore is, well, it's DJ Moore, and he's still the wide receiver one on this team.
Well, but I mean, we haven't seen the DJ Moore that was like in Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's. But at the same time, the Bears don't pass the ball like that.
It's the Bears.
You know what I mean?
It's
and
the
so
Bears, man.
just because of that, like DJ Moore is probably the only one that I'd feel good with out of these three wide receivers. But Caleb Williams is just not. I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of confidence in him. This game alone, besides like JJ McCarthy, only because you might have to start him. Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson. Like, I'm not really starting like a lot of the other complementary like skill players in this one.
Okay. Well, again, I think
like Roshan, I don't think you could start him.
it's just like, I think, no, you're not starting Roshan.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
there's
saying.
no
Like, if you
way.
want to bet on him for a touchdown, that's what I was saying.
Maybe, but like even if like you have a super flex, like no, there's no way he should even be in consideration for that.
DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden, I think are three very talented wide receivers. The problem is, number one, you're on the Bears. Number two, Caleb Williams is your quarterback.
Right, and number three, they can't all catch the ball.
Exactly. One
You
of
know
them
what I
has
mean?
to come out on
Exactly.
top.
So
unless, hey, maybe Caleb Williams comes out as the truth this year, and maybe we saw what we saw from Justin Herbert last night, where he kept three viable wide receivers. He had Ladd McConkey. He was very relevant. We had Keenan Allen, 31 years old, very relevant. And we had Quentin Johnston, who everyone was writing off after 3 years in the league, come out very relevant in this game.
it's the Bears, dude.
But then that sacrifices your tight end position. And tight ends, just the Bears alone have two tight ends that everyone is looking at. Colston Loveland as your first on the depth chart, actually. I was looking at their depth chart last night. And Colston Loveland is your one. Cole Kmet, who they just signed to a brand new deal, is their tight end two. TJ Hawkinson is your Vikings tight end. And that rounds us out. But before we round us out, what do you think of Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet? That 1-2 tandem, is it going to be like a timeshare for tight ends? Is this gonna be like the Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski thing that we saw in 2011? And everyone was like, "What's going on? Why do they have two tight ends?"
Well, if it is, then you're definitely going to lose value in Rome Odunze and Luther Burden. You know what I mean? Because they're not even going to be on the field if they're running two tight ends out there. But I think Loveland, I don't think he'll have. I think because he's a rookie, they might not lean on him so much like right away. He's probably one for the future with this squad. But I really just think that it's going to come down to Caleb Williams. I mean, he's going to dictate what these guys are able to produce.
Yeah. Who do you have in this one? Vikings, Bears? I'm going with the Vikings.
I'm going with the Vikings, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like if JJ just plays like god awful, like if he's really, 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 really bad, then Caleb doesn't even have to have that good of a game for them to win.
Okay. Yeah, I can see
mean?
that. Well, that rounds us out for week one matchups. Thank you guys so much for listening and sticking around. We will be back on Tuesday with another episode. We will be recapping what happened week one and looking at any waiver wire or injuries that happened over the week. Chris, do you have anything else to say before we head out of here?
I think for the Tuesday one, we'll also have some picks for prize picks for the Thursday night game.
We will have some picks.
It's hard we could do picks for the whole week, but I mean, there's so many people to choose from. So when we have a singular game, it makes it a little bit easier. But other than that, no, I'm looking forward to watching football for about 8 straight hours.
Hell yeah.
And just, really utilizing.
Or like 12 hours.
Yeah, really utilizing red zone and putting that to use.
Utilizing
Yeah,
red
you got to
zone.
utilize it, man. That's what it's there for.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to episode 25, and we will see you later.
Peace.